Mark, we're standing here in front of this beautiful display of petunia baskets. So pretty.
Oh my goodness. And one question we got from Sandy, she was wanting to know, what kind of fertilizer do you use for your hanging baskets with petunias and all the different?
Great question. So we have what we call our secret recipe here at Anderson's for hanging baskets, because we do the hanging baskets and the planters on Center Street. So if you haven't seen how beautiful the flowers are on Center Street, but we also do the hanging baskets on Main Street for the city as well too.
Huge.
Yeah. And so we have a formula that we use on those. And the trick with the hanging baskets, especially with petunias, because they're really heavy feeders, they like to feed a lot. So when you have some beautiful petunias like this, to like get them to crawl, you need a high nitrogen fertilizer.
Okay, when you say crawl, we're talking
like to get them to cascade. Yeah. So in a hanging basket, usually you have different flowers in there, but you can do just straight petunias. But we want them to like fill that basket out and to cascade.
Question.
Yeah.
Some people told me that there's certain ones that do cascade and certain ones that don't.
Some cascade better than others. And so the ones that we use in front of Anderson's are called Vista petunias. And they're a super tunia. And I can get those to cascade almost 4 feet. Yeah, so 4 feet. So I'll get those plants to like go 4 feet long. And so you need to go with a higher nitrogen fertilizer to get that cascade. But then we want them to bloom. We want them to be pretty all summer. And so they need a different fertilizer to encourage blossoming. So we use 2 different fertilizers at Anderson's in our secret recipe to get them to do those 2 things. Secret recipe. So we have a secret recipe here at Anderson's because we take care of the baskets on Center Street. We take care of the baskets on Main Street.
And they're huge.
And they are huge. Yeah, they are huge. These products are made right here in Logan. So this is a very local product, wonderful product. We've used it for 40 years. The all-purpose has that higher nitrogen, which is going to cause them to cascade or to crawl out. And then the Pro Bloom has a higher phosphorus and potassium in there to get them to bloom. And so we'll use the all-purpose on Mondays, and we'll use the Pro Bloom on Thursdays. So we're feeding them twice a week with 2 different products. One to make them crawl and make them cascade.
And will the plants
plants will just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
So are you adding this to water?
You mix these in water.
How much?
1 ounce per gallon on each of them. And then water the plants. And we like to water them so that it gets all over the foliage, because it'll absorb it in through the leaves as well as pick it up through the root system. So it's going to work both ways. So they're going to absorb it up through the roots and in through the leaves as well too. And the plants just perform like crazy. And in a hanging basket like that, you have to feed so much more, because every time you water, you're leaching that.
Because I'm wanting that water to run out the bottom.
You're leaching all that nutrient out. And so we've got to feed them, or else they're starving to death.
Every day, but the fertilizer twice a
You're
week.
Watering every day, but we're fertilizing twice a week. And then sometimes we will actually add something on like on Saturdays. So instead of just fertilizing on Mondays and Thursdays, we'll add like our compost tea in. And the compost tea, if you've never used our compost tea, you just have to try it. The compost tea is full of microbes and microorganisms that break down organic matter, so they turn the soil back into more soil. They pre-digest nutrient for the plants so that they can absorb and utilize that nutrient faster and more readily for the plants. And then it takes out toxins and pesticides that have built up in the soil over time. So we're basically feeding the soil with this to get the soil to work the way it's supposed to, which in turn feeds the plants.
Now, are you using this just on hanging plants or on?
I use it on my tomatoes. I use it on my peppers. A lot of people use it on their hanging baskets or their planters. Like for individual
You're spraying
plants.
this also? This to spray?
Yeah, but this is not to spray. This is like water your plants with it. So we have a free refill program where our customers can buy a container. We brew the compost tea 24/7 here all the time. And so anytime they come down to Anderson's, we just like fill it up for them, and then they take it home and use it on their plants. Yeah, so it's a really great program, but it's to help people build their soil back up, because a lot of times the soil just is tired and has been utilized and it's been drained of everything. And this will put all that good biology, all those microbes and microorganisms back into the soil to build their soil back up.
And is taking care of petunias in a hanging basket different than taking care of petunias in your landscaping?
In the landscape, since it has all that soil around it, it doesn't leach the nutrient out quite as fast. And so you don't have to fertilize as frequently as you would with like a hanging basket or a planter. But to really make the planters look great out here on Center Street, we feed them the same as we do the hanging baskets.
I think the results are worth it.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
I see some people sprinkle, like
a granule fertilizer.
granule.
We do that as well too, because the granulated fertilizers that have been formulated to last longer. So some of them are formulated to last like 3 or 4 months. We will put those in the hanging baskets and in the planters as well too.
But do you still fertilize?
But we still fertilize this way. So that way, every day they get watered, they get just a little bit of fertilizer,
Okay.
but then we boost them with the liquid stuff
Okay.
as well too. So makes a big
I
difference.
want to take a class.
Yes, right.
We have classes here at Anderson's all the time on how to do all of this stuff.
Okay.
And we
Okay.
do a series of classes in the wintertime, which is really a lot of fun. And it's like for basic gardeners, but it's also for advanced gardeners as well too.
Do you know what? We've been talking about empty nesters. This will be a great
Yes,
thing
it
to
would.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, it would. Absolutely.
I'm going to go home and tell Reed.
Right.